Hello everyone, in this video I will show you how to upload a photo from the photo gallery to the backend and also show the progress bar to the user so that they can see that the file is being uploaded. Finally, we will show them the finished animation. Let me show you. I have the home screen here and I click enter. So the user can click choose an image and choose one from the gallery and then upload it to the backend. Now let's get started. First, we need to create a backend. So open up your terminal, make a new directory. You can call it whatever you want, but I'm going to call my backend. Then cd to that directory. Inside, you need to type npm init. Then it will prompt you for the name of the package. I'm going to press enter to accept the default. The entry point will be server.js. For everything else, you can just press enter. Then drag and drop your backend folder in the code editor. Check your package.json. You can see that right now we don't have any dependencies. Open up your terminal again. You need to install the following packages. So type npm i-save express axios multer and sharp. Press enter. Still on your terminal, type npm i-save dev nodemon. Press enter. Then check out your package.json file. Make sure that you have these dependencies installed in your project. Up here, above the test, type start node server. Down here, server is nodemon server, comma, and save. Next, go to the root directory and create a new file called server.js. Inside, type const express require express const app express app.use express.json app.get request and response. Right now just rest.send working. Down here type const port process.env.port, or we can just use 5000. And lastly, app.listen, pass in the port and arrow function, and console.log the backtick listening on port $ curly braces and pass in the port number. Save. So we can test if the server is working. Open up your terminal and type nodemon server. On your browser, if you go to localhost :5000, you can see that everything is working fine. Nice. Let's create a route API. So in the root directory, create a new folder called routes. Inside the routes folder, create another folder called API. Inside this API folder, create a new file called photo.js. Inside, type const express require express const router express.router const multer require multer and router dot post slash request and response module dot exports router. In here we need to pass in a middleware that is multer. If you don't know what multer is, it is a Node.js middleware for handling multi-part form data, which is a format that we use to send files like photos to the backend. And there are different methods that you can use, like upload.single, you want to upload a single file, or if you have like an array of files, you can use upload.array instead. Okay, but in our case, we will upload only one photo, so we will use upload.single. So up here, create a variable called upload, use multer, and the destination, which is where the files will be uploaded to. So we're gonna put it in uploads, and right here we need to create that folder also. So new folder, uploads. Okay, and you can also limit the size of the files that are allowed to be uploaded. So type field size 10 times 1024 1024. So I calculate this set of number and I get this number, which is bytes, and then I convert the bytes to megabytes and I get approximately 10 megabytes, which is the limit that we allow. Alright, now back to our photo.js. We can pass that middleware here. So upload.single, and the name of it will be image. And we also need another middleware which we will create ourselves called photo middleware. So in here, create a folder called middleware. Inside this folder, create a new file called photo middleware.js. This middleware function will take an image uploaded by the user, but that image may be too big, so we need to resize it. After that, we can store the images in a folder inside our project. So to do that, type const sharp require sharp const path require path and const fs require fs. So, and here we can declare a new variable called destination, which points to the location we want to store the images. So in the root directory, new folder called public, and inside the public folder, assets. So this is where our images will be stored. Then we need to export our function. So module.exports, this will use async await. So request, response, and next. So let's use the try catch block. Inside the try, use await and use the sharp function, taking the request.file.path. So where does this come from? The file object from the request. So if you check the documentation under the usage topic, it says here that multer adds a body object or a file or files object to the request object. We already have the request object here, but what this multer function will do is to attach a body object and a file or files object to it. Okay, whether this will be file or files, that is up to the function we are using. if we use upload.single, which means we are uploading only a single file, the object will be file. But if we are uploading multiple photos, this will be files object. That explains where the file object comes from. If you go back to the photo API, you can see that we use two middleware functions. The first one that we used is from multer, and we used a single function which takes in a single image that will be uploaded to this folder. And when it does that, it also attaches a new object called file to request, okay, that we can use here. And we use this property of the object file to find the location of the image. And then we can resize it to 1500. You can change this number to be higher for a better image quality. And then the format will be JPEG and the quality will be 50%. And we want to tell where to save the file to. So path.resolve and give it the destination of the folder, and then rec.file name. We're gonna put a suffix to the file name, say underscore resized.jpg. Save. And we need to unlink the file, okay, from our project. We don't want to keep it, so we want to detach from this file stored in our uploads folder. And then we can attach an image object to our request, so request.file name. If there is an error, then sf.unlink sync, so rec.file.path. So we do this here in case it is successfully uploaded. And also if there is a problem, we don't want to keep the file either, so we want to unlink it. And console.log error. One last step that you need to do, and it is very important, is passing in the next function. If you don't do that here, your code will be stuck in here, okay, because you need to pass in the next function in order to proceed to the next step, which is here. Now in the photo API, you can type const image, and we pass the image object from request to a new variable. Remember, we did that here. And then if there is an image, we're gonna send res.status 201.send, say successfully uploaded. Else we're gonna send res.status 500.send to say server error, and save. And we are using photo middleware here. Don't forget to import that also. So const photo middleware require middleware photo middleware, and save. And one last thing that we need to do is go back to server.js. Down here under the app.use, type app.use, and the URI of the API /photo and require, which points to the directory of that API. So that is photo, and save. This is all we needed to do for the backend. Now let's move on to the front end. Open up your terminal. We need to make a new project. Make sure that you are outside your backend folder. You can go to desktop or anywhere that you want, and then type expo-init followed by the name of your project. So I'm going to call my front end. Press enter. choose blank, press enter. Now when that is done, open up your project. This is the project Expo created for us. If you check package.json, you can see that we have some packages pre-installed, but we need some more. The first one is React Navigation. So go to their documentation, and this is what you need to install. Copy, open up a terminal, paste that in, and press enter. Then go back to the documentation. Over here, copy the whole thing, go back, put it in, press enter. We also need Stack Navigator, so click over here, Hello React Navigation, and down here, copy, paste it in, press enter. Go back to the browser. We need image picker from Expo. So copy, paste, Expo install, expo-image-picker. Now that is done, I'm gonna close the terminal for now. In app.js, we're going to create our stack navigation. So remove everything here except React from React. So import navigation container from add React Navigation /native. Import create stack navigator from add React stack. Import the home screen from app screens home. Import photo from app screens photo. Over here, create a new folder called app. Inside app, create a new folder called screens. Inside the screens folder, create a new file called home.js and another file called photo.js. Now go back to app.js, type const stack, create stack navigator, const stack navigator arrow function. This will return stack.navigator. Inside, type stack.screen. Name is home. Component is home. Close it. Another screen. Stack.screen. Name is photo. Component is photo. Here, after stack.navigator, the initial route name is home. The mode will be model, and screen options, we're going to hide the header. So header shown is false. Save. Down here, export default function app. We're gonna return navigation container, wrap it around stack navigator. Save. There's a typo here, it should be photo. Now go to home.js, import React from react import view style sheet text and button from React Native. Function is home, the structure navigation, return view style styles dot container. Inside the view is text enter to win the big prize, and down here there is a button with the title enter. On press is function we link to navigation.navigate, that is the photo screen. Save. Down here const styles style sheet dot create. So container will have flags of 1. Justify content will be center. Also align items is center. And don't forget to export the screen. Export default home. Save. Now go to photo.js, import react from react, import button view style sheet and image from React Native. Function photo, the structure navigation, return view text, say photo screen. Save. Down here type const styles equals style sheet dot create and export default photo. Save. Now let's test if our navigation actually works. Open up terminal and you can type expo start. This is my simulator, so I can click enter. It says can find variable text. So in the photo.js, import text, save, back to the simulator. Okay, and when I drag it down, I can go back to the first screen. Let's work on our photo screen. Up here, import everything as image-picker from expo-image-picker. Up here, we need to use effect and use state. So down here, let's create a function called enable access so that we can get access to the photo album. So const the structure granted from await image picker dot request media library permissions async, and then if it's not granted, we're going to send an alert to the user saying please allow access to your photo album. Save. And up here above the enable access, we're gonna use effect arrow function. We're gonna execute this function here, and don't forget to put an empty array here to tell use effect that please execute this only once. And down here, let's remove text and create another view. So the outer view will have this style, styles.screen, and in here in the style sheet, so this screen we have the following properties. So flex 1, align items center, and justify content is also center. Save. As for the second view, styles.image-container. So down here, image container, let's set the height to 250 and width to 250. Overflow will be hidden. So up here, let's create a button with the title. Choose image. On press is a function that we will create. Choose image. Okay. Under the enable access function, let's create the choose image function. Async arrow function, the try catch block. So const data await image picker. Use the launch image library async function, and we're gonna set the media types to image picker, the media type options to allow early images, and the quality will be 50%. And we can console.log and see the URI of the image. If there is no data so if data is not cancelled, we're gonna set the image to data.uri. If there is an error, we're just going to console.log error. So that means we need to create use state here. So above the use effect, const an array and say image, set image equals use state, and will be an empty string. Save. So down here above the button, we can check if image.length is greater than 0. That means there is a value, and if that is true, we're gonna render image source. URI will be this image state here, and style will be styles.image. Okay, and let's set the image height to 100%, also the width to 100%. Save. Now check your simulator. I can press enter and this will pop up. This one is executed in the use effect the first time this page is rendered. This will ask for permission to access the media library, so we need to allow it. Okay, when that is done, you can click choose image, which will take us to the gallery, and then we can choose any image in the gallery. See, nice, but the button is gone. So let's see. So we need to move button outside the image container. Save. Okay, now the button is back. Now let's create another button with the title submit. On press will be submit function. Save. Go up under the choose image function. Let's create const submit. It will be a sync arrow function. If image.length is greater than 0, we're going to await photo API dot submit photo, pass the image to this API. If there is a problem, we're going to send an alert saying like please choose an image. So this means our user tries to press the submit button without choosing a photo first. We will need to send an alert to warn them. Save. So let's work on this API. In here, create a new folder called API. Inside the API folder, create a new file called photo.js. In here, import Axios from Axios. Const submit photo, which is a function that we use here, and that takes an image URI. So const, we need to point to the URL of our backend, and if we go back to our backend project, you will see that we use localhost 5000 and the API route is API/photo. So type HTTP localhost 5000/API/photo. So this URL will point to this API. And if you remember, this API will take an image, resize it, and then store in the backend project. And then down here, type const form data, new form data. We use form data because we are sending a photo, which is a file. You probably are familiar with the content type of application/JSON, okay? But this time we will use the multi-part form data type to send our photo file to the backend. And form data, this object, we're gonna append our image. Name will be image. The type will be image/JPEG, and the URI will be this URI param that we pass in. Return Axios.post URL, this form data dot then function response console.log response.data, and then we're gonna catch function error console.log error, export default, submit photo, save. So this is kind of straightforward. We declare this submit photo function, which take an image URL, and then we send everything through Axios. give it the URL of our backend along with the data that we want to pass along, which is in the multi-part format. And then we export this function so that our photo.js can use this API function. So go over here, create a new file called index.js, export default as photo API from this file. So we export everything from this file as photo API, and whenever we want to use that API function, we can call it through photo API. So let's import that. Import photo API. This one is from let's move our API photo inside the app photo. Move. So make sure that the API photo is under the app photo, and then right here we can call it API. Save. Now back to our photo API file, because we import Axios here, but if you check package.json, you can see that we haven't imported that package in our project yet. I'm going to stop my simulator and then type npm i-save Axios, and then expo start again. Run on iOS simulator. My simulator is up and I open my backend project here. If you already terminated your backend server, you need to run it again. So nodemon server and press enter. Now my project is listening on port 5000. So I can click enter and choose image. And then press submit. You see here, our image is saved in the backend project. Very nice. But it would be much better if we have a progress bar so that our user can see that our photo is being uploaded, and then when it is done, there should be like a finished animation showing up. Okay, so let's do that. To use a progress bar, you need to install a package called react-native-progress. So copy this back to the front end project. I'm going to exit from my simulator. So Ctrl+C, and then paste that in, enter. Now that is done. If you go back to the documentation, you can see that there are many different types of progress bar that you can use. But if you want to use point and circle, you probably need to install React Native Art in addition to what we just did. And each one has different properties that you can use. We're going to use progress bar, which takes progress and the width of our bar. So now go back to photo screen. So down here in the submit photo API, let's pass a function called upload progress to our API. And then we have to create that upload progress function down here. Upload progress, which take % arrow function, and we need to create a use state up here. Const % set % use state. The initial state of % will be 0. And if this function is executed, we will set the % to whatever value we get back from this callback function. Save. And now we have to modify this API function. So go to photo.js. Up here, we need to pass a function. Let's call it notify parent, okay, which is exactly the same as this one. Down here, let's create config. Axios has a function called on upload progress, okay, and it take progress event L function, and we're gonna call the function notify parent progress event dot loaded divided by progress event dot total, and then we're gonna pass this config in here. Save. What we have done is, first we post this form data to this URL, which is localhost 5000, and then we take advantage of a function called onUploadProgress provided by Axios to get a value between 0 and 1, or you can think of it of 0% to 100%. Okay, so how much data is being uploaded, and then divided by the total number of, or the size of the data. So to show you, I am going to console.log this here, and then comment this out, save, and I'm going to start my simulator again, expo start. Let's try upload an image to our backend. So enter, choose image, submit. Okay, that is done. You can see here, this is the value we get from the onUploadProgress function, starting from 0, okay, and the total must be 1. Now, instead of displaying this value here in the child component, we have to pass this value to the parent, which is the photo screen, okay, so that we can use this percent on our interface, on our progress bar. So remove this and comment this, and because we call this function, okay, function that is given by our parent, and this function, you can call it the same name, notify parent, doesn't matter. This function will receive a value which is percent, okay, that is here, so that we can use this percent to make our progress bar. Now let's save this and go back to the photo screen. Go up and create another state called model, set model, use state, the initial value will be false. Go down to the submit function. If there is an image or image.length is greater than 0, we're gonna set the percent to 0, or always 0 at the beginning, and then set model to true. Now let's work on this model here, or you can put it anywhere that you want as long as it is inside the screen view. So I'm going to say upload animation. This is a component that we need to create. It take on finish function, L function, and when this function is executed, it will set the model to false so that we can hide the progress bar, and then navigate our user to the next screen. For now, let's take them to home. And other than the onFinish function, it takes percent and visible. That is up to the model state. Save. Now let's create this component. Go to screens, make a new file, and call it upload animation.js. In here, import React from React. Import view, model, and style sheet from React Native. Import everything as progress from React Native progress that we just installed. If you check the Expo documentation under the API reference tab, there is a library called Lottie. As of now, only version 2 is supported. So if you use Lottie 3 files, that is not gonna work. So for now, let's install this package. Go back to your front-end project, paste that in. Now that is done, if you go to package.json, you can see that version 2 of lottie-react-native is installed. Now let's continue. Import Lottie view from lottie-react-native function, upload animation, finish percent and visible. These are from our photo screen. Here we pass the onFinish function, percent and visible. Now we're gonna return model. The visible depends on the visible value that we get here. And inside the model is a view with style, styles.container. Down here, const styles, style sheet.create, container, flex 1. We're gonna center everything, align items, center, justify content, also center. Since we're here, let's export default upload animation. Okay, so back up here. So if the percent that we get from the parent is less than 1, okay, it's not 100%, we're gonna show the progress bar. So progress dot bar, and pass in the progress value, which is percent, like 10%, 20%. Width is, let's say, 200, and the color will be light green. Close it. But if the percent is not less than 1, okay, it's complete. So we're going to show an animation from Lottie view. Save it. So this takes in source, require, and then we need to locate the JSON file we want to use. Now if you go to lottiefiles.com, then you can create a free account and you can download some free JSON files to use as your animation. So right here under discover, click free animations, let's search for finished. And this is the one that I want to use. So click and download JSON, lottie.json. So this is the file. And then let's rename the file to finished. Okay. And then back to the front end project. Click on the app folder, create a new one, and let's call it assets. I'm just going to copy and paste it in this assets folder right here. Now go back to upload animation. So go up and then get to assets / name of the file finished.json, and then loop will be false. We want to play it only one time, and auto play will be auto, and on animation finish we will use the onFinish function. Okay, so this is a callback function like what we did in the photo API. So this will pass a value to tell the parent, the photo screen, that the animation is finished. Okay, and then this onFinish function in the photo screen will get notified, and when it is notified, it will set the model to false and then navigate the user to the home screen. So go back and make sure that you save it. Now one last thing, you need to import upload animation to the photo screen. So inside the photo screen up here, import upload animation from upload animation and save. So I'm gonna clear it and then expo start to test it on the simulator. Okay, so click enter, choose image, then submit. Very nice. Do that again. Choose a new one, submit. If you check your backend project, you will see that all the images you uploaded are inside the assets folder. So let's check it out. And if you notice, you will see that each image gets resized. These smaller sizes are easier to manage compared to their original sizes, which I believe are more than 2 megabytes. And back to the front end project. In the choose image function, remember that we console.log data.url here, and this is what printed out. This is the URI of our image in our simulator. Okay, so you can copy this link and paste it in your browser and even download the file on your desktop, and you will see that the image size is quite huge. And this message successfully uploaded is from the photo API, which we printed out here, response.data, and here in our photo API, this is the message we sent to our front end, successfully uploaded. Okay, nice. One last thing that I want to show you is in the backend project, in the photo middleware, where we receive the request.file. I want to show you what is inside this file object. So let's console.log and pass in rec.file. Okay, and save. Now if I try to upload a photo, submit, and look here in the console, this is the object that was printed out. So inside the file object, we have field name, which is the image, original name is image, and the destination is uploads, which we specified in the photo API here. Also, we have the file name and path to the photo and the size of the image. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.